Hey there, welcome back to Tennille Talks. Y'all, I love you so much. Thank you for loving on me this entire week. I've had a birthday week, so thank you. Someone asked me, do they still do birthday weeks? Apparently, yeah, because I had one. So I love y'all. Thank you so much for celebrating and loving me the way you do, okay? I'm going to jump into this reading, but as I'm laying out the cards, I'm not going to talk about them right away. I want to share something with you while I'm setting up the reading. So I do typically wake up during the time period of the witching hour, between, 3 a.m. and then sometime before sunrise or whatever. And so last night when I woke up at 4:44, okay? And I don't have fear, like it's kind of a thing. And so typically when I wake up, I keep my cards close by. And it's hard to go back to sleep unless I communicate, unless I do a message, unless I just kind of see what the energy is about, all right? So I did a reading last night, 4:44. And I get this idea, like I read the reading, but then all of a sudden I get an analogy, okay? So as I'm laying this out, I'm going to try to describe it the best way I can. I did take notes in my phone. I might do just an audio message explaining what I'm going to try to recall right now, okay? So what I got from the reading is that imagine that there is a strip mall, okay? A strip mall. So there's a series of stores. You can go in and out of shops, okay? Now, the human mind is like a strip mall, okay? And every store is connected to some type of experience or some type of emotion. Now, I want you to think that some of the stores are connected to high vibrational emotions because you had an experience that was high vibrational. Now, the other stores in the strip mall are connected to lower or darker emotions because they attach to experiences that left some type of trauma. So, what I got is that demonic or dark force entities. Dark force entities, they don't need money, but they do need memories, okay? So I want us to now think about the dark covens, the societies, and the groups that summon these type of demons. And so what I got from the reading is that there is some type of exchange. So let's say I'm low vibrational in my human nature, and I am wanting to have earthly materials. Maybe I work alone, maybe I am attached to a specific group. Nonetheless, there is some type of barter or exchange that will take place between myself and a demonic or a dark entity, right? And so what happens is that the entity is able to fulfill my earthly needs. The entity is able to kind of give me whatever I want materially, but it needs a trade-off. And so I want money, but the entity is wanting a memory. And the reason why the entity wants a memory is because it needs to exist in a certain vibration. And so when we're thinking about lower vibrational entities, right, those that come from our lower self, if every store in that strip mall is a memory attached to an emotion, in order for a demonic being to exist, it needs to have certain memories fed consistently. So let's say in the strip mall, you have a store called shame. You have a store called guilt. Another store called attachment. Another one called fear. Another called jealousy. And another called illusion. And so here's the thing. The dark coven conjures the entity. And it promises the entity that inside of your strip mall, our brains, our minds are all strip malls. And every store in that strip mall is attached to some type of memory. And the only way the demonic entity can attach to you is if some of those memories are kept alive. So let's say, if you want a store, a real store, if you want a store to stay in business, it needs people to shop. It needs patrons. It needs people to come and spend money. As long as your store is earning money, as long as you have customers, your store can stay in business. And so in order for an entity to be attached to you, in order for the entity to be able to do business with you, there are certain emotions and certain memories that must continue to be shopped. They must continue to be accessed so that your vibration stays at a level that looks like regret or shame or fear or guilt or illusion. And so the group summons the entity and it says, hey, we have a strip mall over here that you can live in. You can take up residence in this person's strip mall, right? Now, here's the thing. In order for the entity to be able to attach to you, you got to have customers that are shopping at the shame store, the guilt store, the regret store. Because if they're not shopping there, if they're not keeping that store open, if they're not keeping that memory alive, if they're not keeping that emotion real and thriving, well, then the entity doesn't, right? So what I'm saying is, when you are bartered, when your life is used as some type of collateral for a group or an individual to gain something, the coven is responsible for making sure that they send you shoppers and patrons. And so there are some people that are coming into your life and they're only wanting to shop at certain stores. And they're only wanting to shop at certain stores because they're looking to keep certain energies alive in you. Am I making sense so far? Right? And so the human needs money, the entity needs a memory. And so everything is really based off of memories. When you heal, when you make peace with trauma, you can start to close down those stores that are low vibrational. Every time you shut down one of those low vibrational businesses or those low vibrational memories that continue to feed those dark emotions, you make it harder for entities to be attached to you. Okay? But the thing about the coven, the thing about the cult or the societies or the groups is they've summoned this entity and they have to feed it, and it feeds off of energy and it feeds off of vibration. But if the energy and the vibration is too high, well then it can't take up residence in your strip mall, right? And so this is why there are certain people that are religiously and continuously sent to you. This is why you have family members. This is why you have certain jobs. This is why you're gang stalked. This is why you're trolled. This is why you're bullied and harassed. It's because all of those energies need to shop at specific stores, right? Because as long as somebody is shopping at those stores and triggering those emotions, which were originally attached to memories from long ago, well, then the entity can take up residence. When you start closing down shop and healing, well, the entity needs to go elsewhere. And so I almost was like, okay, Men in Black, how there's like that pen that kind of wipes your memory. And so there are a lot of individuals who are part of these groups and these societies, and it's almost like they don't feel shame, regret, or remorse. It's like they don't feel it. And so I'm like, well, why is it that they don't carry that? Why is it, And I almost feel like a part of the deal is that when the entity is summoned, as long as they can find food, low vibrational food to feed it, those strip malls in your mind, as long as the entity is eating off of that, I almost feel like they are excused. You know how like if you have a sketchy business, like a drug business or something illegal, well, you know how sometimes you got to clean your money. And so maybe you'll have like a dry cleaner. Maybe you'll have a car wash. You'll have a legit business. But the money that is moving through there, it's really dirty money that you're just funneling. But you want to make it look like it's legitimate. And so I almost got the idea that one of the reasons why these people don't carry shame or guilt for what it is they do is because their mind is cleaned, right? And so you are essentially what is cleaning the energy. You know what I mean? Like they're doing the dirty business, but as long as they can keep you attached to the entity, then the entity almost doesn't allow them to feel what we are feeling when people are continuously sent to us shopping at specific stores. I hope this isn't too crazy, but like this was me at 4:44 a.m. and like I have notes on my phone and I was trying to figure out like how to deliver it to you, but I just wanted to say that because listen, it could be unique or connected to something that some of you are thinking or going through. But I hope it's coming across. And so when we need money, they need a memory, right? And so that's why healing is so powerful. That's why your vibration and your frequency is so powerful, because it closes stores that dark attachments would be able to thrive in. And when the store is closed and they send you somebody and you're like, like, I can read you, I already know what time it is, right? You're like, you can't shop here. Then you start vetting people at the door. You know, now people can only shop if they have an appointment. Now you become like a whole boutique, right? So like, just think about that for a minute. Like, let me know if it makes sense. And here's the thing. When you close down your fear, your shame, your guilt, your illusion, your attachment store, your jealousy store, when you close down those stores, it is in that moment that no longer can that money be cleaned. And so it is at that point that the people that conjured the entity used you as a barter. Now they have to feel all of the emotion because it's not being cleaned and filtered by you. Right? And so I almost feel like we're buffers, but we are like a legitimate business. I hear something in the woods. But it's like we are a legitimate business. But when we heal, we really fuck up the game for them. I hope I'm not going too far off. All right, y'all. But I have more notes on my phone, but that's just what I can remember. So yeah, 4:44 a.m. You know, last night it felt like warfare. Last night would have been Saturday night, March 22nd. And so, like, was anybody else feeling, you know, and the type of warfare was very calm. It wasn't anything that like got my heart racing, but it's like I could feel something, you know, I could feel something. And so when I woke up and I pulled, the analogy that I just gave you was essentially what the reading was showing. People are really having trouble cleaning their money, right? They can't clean it anymore because a lot of us are healing and we're shutting down those stores. And when I say we're shutting down those stores, I mean people are still being sent to us, but we're not allowing them in. Like, we just don't do that type of business anymore. We don't operate with people who are carrying shame and regret, so they can't pass it on to us. We can't clean those emotions for them. And so now they have to do their own healing. All right, well, 12 minutes in. So I went ahead and pulled 5 cards from my Sacred Symbols, I think it's Sacred Symbols deck. In the center of the reading, we have magic. Now I'm going to clarify with Kipperish, Intuitive Kev's deck, the Kipperish deck. I'm going to clarify with this. So we have focus, fire, magic, nature spirits, and relief. I should not have brought my computer out here because I don't have a lot of room. All right, y'all. So here we go. Let's clarify. I feel like there's so more I want to say. But I'll figure out how to, you know, that'll probably be an audio reading. What I was just attempting to describe to you. I'll go back through my notes. All right, so the first card that comes up is Twin Flame. Twin Flame comes out on top of Focus. Focus. Alrighty. Next card we have Karmic Feminine. Karmic Feminine comes out on top of Fire. All right, so your Twin Flame already. There are different times. What do we call them? Counterfeit twins. All right, so we have Twin Flame is focused on a Karmic Feminine. Now the Karmic Feminine could be a fire sign. The Karmic Feminine in the center of the reading is the Star Seed. The Star Seed comes out with magic. All right, so we already have 3 players on the board already. We've got a Twin Flame, a Karmic Feminine, and a Star Seed. And I really think this is, you know what's been circling around in tarot land? This kind of, this dark couple. Somebody called them the dark Bonnie and Clyde, or the karmic Bonnie and Clyde. I kind of got that energy by just looking at this. So after Starseed, we have High Honor. Now High Honor comes out with nature spirits. And then lastly, we have Entity Attachment. Entity Attachment comes out with relief. God. I'm like, and at the bottom of the deck we have jealousy and envy. And so I'm kind of getting that there was some type of plan, there was something in play, and it was unsuccessful. Maybe it was unsuccessful because the twin flame and the karmic feminine, they couldn't shop at that store. They couldn't shop, they couldn't exploit, they couldn't clean their money, because the starseed is one, high honor. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of, there's a reason, I know there's a reason why I had that message about the memories. And I really do think that when people are attacking us, they are really trying to tether a cord to a specific memory. If they can tether a cord to a memory, a dark memory or a dark emotion, that is almost how you build a bridge so that the entity can access you. But when you heal the mind, when you heal the memory, there's no way for anything dark to live or attach. You guys, like, is this making sense so far? So we have a twin flame that is somehow linked up to a karmic feminine. In the center of the reading, they were coming after a star seed. Star seed is on type of magic. So now we're talking about doing something supernatural. We're talking about doing something hidden, right? But the starseed, of course, is high honor. Why are you high honor? Well, you're coming out with nature spirits. And so even when you're alone, you're not alone, right? The way that earth moves for you, the way that earth responds to you, the way that earth recognizes your essence and your signature, you're always accounted for. You always have this tracker, right? You're high honor, but then we have this entity attachment. So was there a twin flame and a karmic feminine that selected a star seed? Now this could be a dark twin, right? Who is in a relationship with somebody else. And so they make the star seed their target, not recognizing the value, the worth, and the rank of the star seed. And so they send some type of entity, hoping that you have memories, hoping that there is a bridge or something that they could tether this entity to. As long as the entity is connected to you, they can keep sending people to keep that store open. They're going to keep that business open, right? But listen, business starts to slow down when you heal. And so we have entity attachment and relief. So we'll figure out where the relief is coming. All right, so the first card that comes out, it says controlling. This is from my handmade deck. It says controlling or limiting forces taught you that you are insignificant and valueless to deter other forms of intelligence from tapping into you. Let's just think about how the human is represented in the media. You know, we really don't get to understand how magical we are. We don't understand that we are prime creator itself. You know, we really don't look at ourselves as having God bodies or being the essence or the signature of the Most High. Like, we don't see ourselves that way. And it's really because of how we are reflected back, the reflection that the world creates for us. You know, now this is saying, I almost feel like your twin flame had some type of narrative or opinion about you. You were valueless. You were insignificant. Now you're in the center of the reading as a whole damn starseed. And listen, anybody that comes to attack you, right? Anybody that comes to attack you, they're doing it because they thought that they would be successful. Nobody wants to set themselves up for failure, right? And think about the backlash that happens when people move against the chosen or move against those that are walking upright for the Most High, right? And so in order to get somebody to really believe that their plan is going to be fruitful, they almost have to dumb you down. Nobody is going to say this is a chosen being. This is a divine one. They carry light. They communicate with the Most High. They're never separate from source. Like, nobody is going to say all of that. Because why? Because it'll totally deflate the sales of the person that's coming in to get a job done, right? And so I almost feel like there was some type of pitch. And whatever the pitch was, that was delivered to your twin flame and possibly their counterpart who's coming up as a karmic feminine. Now the karmic feminine could be a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. Or the karmic feminine, something about fire. When we're talking about fire, you know, the suit of wands, sometimes that in itself is about magic. It's about the force in you. Now the way we use the energy inside of us could be for good or for bad. All right. Now we have moon and star. This talks about faithfulness and fidelity. Now this is coming out with the karmic feminine. Next up I have ladder of death, certainty, universality of death. Now this is coming out with the star seed. And this says, listen, this is an Adinkra symbol, the ladder of death. We're all climbing the ladder. And let's imagine if we're all climbing the ladder. Life starts at the bottom of the ladder. And as we climb, we're getting closer to death. But nobody can avoid climbing this ladder. I almost am getting that the twin flame, your mirror reflection, for good or for bad, gets a pitch, right? Somebody sells them a job and you are on the other side of that job. Well, this person is attached to a karmic feminine, and we have fidelity and faithful. So although they are your twin flame, they are faithful to a karmic feminine. Now these two decide that they want to send the star seed up the ladder of death by way of magic. But remember, when they come in, they don't know like the totality of who and what you are. They can't. Because nobody would be dumb enough to take this job. Nobody would do this mission. This is a dummy mission. What did they say? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. All right, so let's get another one. Y'all, I'm cold. All right, we have the way you act under pressure is the real you. Now this is coming out with high honor. And so listen, whatever they did to get you to ascend up that ladder of death, whatever that magic was, I feel like they wanted to, see, that's the thing. That's how I almost know that there was some type of false narrative that got them all souped up and ready to do this, right? The way you act under pressure. And so the idea is to pressure you. Now, how did they do it? I think it's different for all of us, right? But I think that these people recognize, based on how you were responding or not responding to whatever the antics were, right? And this is pretty evil and wicked stuff when we're talking about magic. I think this is, listen, people that are sending spells and using magic, especially to send you up the ladder of death. I mean, there's just a level of cowardness that I personally won't understand. But in many people's minds, they would consider themselves strong. They don't consider this to be a weakness. To attack somebody and not to show them your face or not to make yourself known is already admission of your own weakness, right? Like, what kind of battle or what kind of war are we really fighting when you can't see your opponent? And the idea is that your opponent stays hidden, and that's only to guarantee that they don't perish, right? And so I'm going to hide myself. I'm not going to show you who I am, but I'm going to attack you again and again and again and again, all in the dark. All in the dark. I mean, if you have to move in the darkness, that, like, your body is already revealing to you that something is wrong with that. If you can't come out in the open, if you can't make yourself known, if you can't, you know what I mean? And so you're already attempting through your ego to protect yourself from some type of foolishness. But people will really attack you in the dark and still somehow feel powerful. I'm already at 23 minutes, y'all. All right, I just need one. You are now learning to find your own value. Now, this is coming out in the energy of relief and entity attachment. And so if somebody comes in and treats you like trash because they were given some type of script or some type of narrative describing you as being insignificant, describing you as having no value, lacking intelligence. Remember, all of this is told to fools in order to make them feel mighty, okay? And so they play you down, they dumb you down as much as they can. The karmic feminine, you know, the karmic feminine is coming out side by side with the star seed. And so I almost get the energy like the star seed climbs the ladder of death. And so what were they looking for when you ascend that? Like, what were they coming after? And so maybe this is what I'm saying let's say this is your twin flame. And so when they first met you, they were able to shop at certain stores in your strip mall. This is almost like trauma bonding, right? As long as you are trauma bonding with other people, then it's almost like they are tethering a cord to your darkness. And the darkness that is in you, those are just the unhealed wounds from different experiences, right? And so when you hold on to the memory, you hold on to the energy. Now, it is absolutely okay to remember things that were dark, but it's the emotion. I took a course, and the mentor was saying that you can only really live through a traumatic event one time. Like, it happens one time. Now, yes, we go through a series of events, but like, if you're thinking, just think of one event. It happened once. But when you think about it, sometimes you can smell, you can taste, you can feel, you can live in it in such a real way as if it's happening all over again, even though it only happened one time, right? But just the memory of it is so fresh and so raw that your body doesn't differentiate from the fact that it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. That's what I mean about keeping the memory alive, right? And so as long as you are able to recall memories, so somebody comes in and maybe they're very emotional and they want to get you open, and you know, they do whatever they have to do to build that bridge so that this entity can be attached, right? And they're not thinking that you have any other value. They're not thinking that you have any other worth. They're only coming in because of the amount of darkness that they were told that you carry. And so they literally are given a script, a twin flame and a karmic feminine. But the way you responded to the pressure that they put on you, right? And you are coming out as somebody who is high honor. Now, the number on the high honor card is 25. 2 and 5 reduces to 7. In numerology, 7 is the most spiritual number. When you think of a 7, their world is inside, right? These are people where, like, you ask them a question and they'll be like, hold on, I'll be right back. And they don't go anywhere. They go inside and they think and they feel and they use their intuition and their internal guidance and their wisdom and their insight. Like, these are people who really, their entire world is inside, right? And so whatever they're thinking or feeling inside, that is primary, that is first. And so that could be an aspect of you. And so whatever the pressure was that you were feeling, whatever the pressure, the force, whatever they were doing to you, you always went inside to consult nature's spirits, right? And I almost feel like this is how you learned who you were. Sometimes people can disrespect you in such... sometimes people, I mean, the way people are so comfortable in their disrespect, it blows my mind. For an adult, like, as an adult, it is okay to just not like somebody and to leave it alone, to leave them alone. But like, to make it known and to go out of your way, even if they had a script or a narrative about you. I mean, sometimes people will use that and they will feel so comfortable in treating you in such an awful way. But it's like, we're adults, like, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, you responded in a way that revealed to them that you were something more than they heard, okay? Although this situation may not have been comfortable, it definitely was a situation where you had to learn to find your own value. And you learn to find your own value when no one values you, when people don't see you as having any worth. And so if these two fools create a scheme to send you up that ladder of death because they feel like you are nothing, you're worth nothing, you have nothing, you know what I mean? It is almost like you go inside and you're like, now wait a goddamn minute. I know who I am, I know who I'm not, I know what I stand for, right? And it is the way you responded to the level of disrespect that you revealed to yourself, right? And so every time you respond, that is like literally you closing down stores. Like, you motherfuckers can't shop here anymore, right? Those feelings, those memories that you were trying to tether a cord to, that you can't, that store is closed. That's what I'm getting about the pressure, right? And it's just like, listen, am I going to stay in business? Because I'm tired of you people. I'm tired of you type of patrons coming to shop. shopping around in my guilt, shopping around in my fears and my illusions and my attachments and my regrets, right? They got a whole script, and they're only wanting to shop at your darkest memories, at your darkest stores, because that was the trade-off. The entity needs somebody to attach to, but you got to have certain memories open. All right, tarot. Let's pull some tarot, and then I'll clarify. So we're already at 30 minutes. Whew. I had 2 cards that flipped over. Okay, so some of the cards are facing upright, some of them are not. All right, here we go. So we have 6 of staff. This is about being victorious. Now, before the 6, and staffs are wands, before the 6 of staffs, you have the 5 of staffs, which is about warfare, obstacles, challenges, and we're talking about spiritual challenges, spiritual obstacles. And so now we have the King of Coins. The King of Coins is coming out with the Karmic Feminine. And so I almost feel like this King of Coins is responsible for financing these 2. Somebody had to set these 2 up. Somebody had to give them a script. This is somebody in masculine energy. It doesn't have to be a male, but this is somebody that uses finances to control people. Some people, they'll do anything for money, but look, the Ace of Swords. So you know the Ace of Swords, it comes out in the center of the reading with the star seed. And so this talks about a breakthrough. This talks about truth, clarity, cutting through confusion, discernment, right? The sword cuts. And so I almost feel like the twin flame comes in almost as it's a sure win. It's a sure victory. This person just knew they were climbing over this mountain. And this King of Coins, the one who's paying the Karmic Feminine, and this Karmic Feminine is attached. Okay. So the King of Coins is coming out with the Karmic Feminine. This is giving me the energy of Eve real quick. Not for good or for bad, but I almost feel like the way the exchange happened, it was because the King of Coins approached the Karmic Feminine. Now, if your twin flame is loyal and faithful to the Karmic Feminine, then she can almost spit anything in his ear. Now, did he know he was your twin flame, or did she know that you were counterparts? But I feel like the King of Coins, somebody that uses money, somebody that's financially fluid, you know, this person appealed to the Karmic Feminine so much, so then now she creates a script or a narrative in order to get the twin flame, your twin flame, to buy in. And so this person is feeling victorious. Maybe he thinks he will become a King of Coins, right? But we have the Ace of Swords coming out with the star seed. Too many cards. Too many cards. Okay. Oh, this High Priestess. High Priestess is coming out in High Priest, you know, High Priest or High Priestess. Now this is coming out with high honor, nature spirits. The way you act under pressure is the real you, so you can see in the dark. These are people that are coming to shop at your darkest memories, at your darkest stores, in order to tether a goddamn entity to it. But you are the High Priestess, right? Your eyes can be closed and you can hear, see, and sense everything. And so this is the real you. This is why you're high honor, because there's nothing that you don't know. Even the secrets of others, the darkness of others, like you can see in them. Right? And so when the plan comes to you, before anything is even spoken, you can read their energy. You already know what they're up to. Right? And so the way you act under pressure is the real you. Why didn't this work? It's because you're the High Priestess. You have God's secrets. You know God's ways, because the Most High communicates with you. You have access to knowledge that you don't need a book for. It is in you. And so when I described, 7 being the most spiritual number, it is because your literature exists inside of you. And so these are people, but you're still a starseed though, right? So you're a starseed above, and below you're coming out as a high priest or a high priestess, someone of high honor, right? But these people thought that you had no value, no worth. They thought that this was going to be easy. Now, finally, we get the 10 of Cups. Now, 10 of Cups, typically I associate that with family. So, really quickly, The King of Pentacles, the financer, the person who kind of scripted this whole plan together, could be a part of your family. These people could have been sent by your family for some specific reason. But you're coming out as the starseed, a person of high honor. You're coming out as a high priestess. And in the event that you dealt with this entity, like it was able to make its way in a couple of your stores in your strip mall, there was relief. And the only way you found relief is because you learned how to find your own value. You didn't rely on this experience to tell you who you were or who you were not. Sometimes you need dark fools. You need these people to enter your life, right? It doesn't feel good. It doesn't look good. The memories are not good, but it reveals to you who you are. It forces you to go inside and be like, I know these motherfuckers are crazy. I know this is not me. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes the disrespect is so loud and so brutal and so harsh. All you can do is go within. It forces you to go within. Alrighty, so that was tarot. Now I'm just going to pull one more deck. We're at 35 minutes. I did delete some apps and empty my storage before this started. All right, so this is going to post on Sunday. Alrighty, here we go. So listen, black magic. Remember I described the twin flame. They were only focused on this victory like it was a sure thing, right? And so this was black magic that was used. This was something dark. Black magic is evil. It is wicked. It is meant to bring harm. And maybe these people understood that you had some type of gifts, because it's if you were supposed to be made, if their goal was to make you feel insignificant, like you had no worth or no value, it was to get you to not ascend consciously, right? Because if you ascend consciously, now the different types of intelligences can commune with you. You know, think about the archangels, think about the Orisha, like whoever you connect with, whoever you commune with, right? Spirits. The idea is that you think so little and so low of yourself that you vibrationally can't even have those types of intelligences communing with you in any way, right? And so these people are supposed to be so disgusting to you that you would never think you're anything more. But you go inside in order to determine your value or worth. Nothing on the outside world has ever really validated you or revealed to you who you truly were. See, this is the problem. If you've dealt with these types of people or these narratives your entire life, and we do have the 10 of Cups, so it's almost like you neglect, abandonment, disrespect, being overlooked, right? Being forgotten, being left out. Y'all, I cannot tell you how many times. Now I'm 10 and 12 years older than the siblings that I share with my paternal parent figure, okay? I cannot tell you how many times I have heard, oh, I didn't know you had a sister. I didn't know you had a sister. I didn't know you had a sister. I mean, and it really didn't matter what age I was, but I heard it again and again and again. And so I already knew that I was not a fixture. I was not anything that people felt that they needed to share. Like it, you know what I mean? And true, I was older. True, I went to college and I lived away, but I was still, nobody knew that I existed, you know? And so if I grow up like that, then I'm almost prepared for darkness to meet me and to make me feel small, because I was groomed to feel that way. You understand what I'm saying? And so like your family almost prepares you to deal with these type of experiences in the world, but at the same time they're like surprised that you overcome these battles. But it's like, you trained me for this. You trained me to not have worth, value, to not have a place, to not be a part of the group. Like you trained me to be ostracized. And so this is what teaches us that, listen, if I'm here, it's because something put me here greater, you know? All right, so next card, coming in hot. So we have black magic, and then we have coming in hot. Now the coming in hot comes out with the karmic feminine. Black magic coming in hot. And it also comes out on top of this King of Pentacles. Now in the center of the reading, we have great fortune and big luck. Now this comes out with the Ace of Swords. So this is why they were all coming to you, right? Because you, as this star seed, you do carry great fortune and luck because you're tapped into the infinite wisdom of the cosmos, right? Now, was that supposed to be hidden from you? Maybe they felt like you didn't know that. Maybe they didn't understand that you already knew you were a star seed of high honor and that you carried some type of priestly or priestess position. But this is why they wanted you to climb that ladder of death. This is why, right? And so if they can get the entity to stick to you, the entity gets to live in the memories that you ain't shit, and they get to experience the money and the wealth, and they get to have their conscience cleaned, right? Because you are the filter, you are the cover, you are the cloak. It says, do not enter, wrong way. Watch out for the signs. The universe is guiding you in the right direction. This is coming out on the High Priestess. And so the way you were responding, the way you were acting when all of this was unfolding, this was an indication that they should have stopped. They should not have entered. They were trespassing. Please turn around. You're going the wrong way. Y'all don't want these problems. Like, don't do this, right? The universe is screaming to them, yo, this is one of ours. This is one of ours. We have starseed, high honor, nature spirits, high priestess. Like, what more do you need? What more do you need to understand that this was always a bad plan? I'm going to get one more, and then this is going to be our last card. All right, so this card has 444. It has times. We have 444, 333, 1111. Now this is coming out on top of the 10 of Cups. And so this is like trying to attach an entity to the Most High, right? When I see these numbers are almost sacred symbols. They're signs, they're codes, and when we see them, we see them anywhere in our world. But it is an indication that we are tapped into something higher, something greater. And so attaching an entity to a divine being is like attaching an entity to the Most High, right? Because that's who we work for. And so this is why they shouldn't have done. The universe knows you, the universe understands you, the universe wouldn't allow this to happen because you are one of its own. Like, you're working. It's like, ma'am, sir, I'm working here. And do you know who I'm working for? And if you decide to interrupt me, if you decide, or you think you've decided to send me up that ladder of death, like, do you understand that there are repercussions? Do you understand that there are consequences? Right? Like, y'all, so that is this reading. In the center, we have the starseed, magic, the ladder of death. But then we have this Ace of Swords with great fortune and big luck. All right, y'all, I love you. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.